Action.
Intro music. Hey guys, Brennan, also known as Goofballracer here, and we are at my home shop, the Pre-Runner Farm is what we call it. This is where we build race trucks, pre-runners, Can-Ams, I guess. I wanted to start a YouTube channel so that I could bring, some product reviews on stuff that I use all the time. We'll do minor fab stuff, anything that I, think would be of use to people. I want to bring that to YouTube and maybe you can learn something. And so today we're actually going to do a product review on the Switch Pro's RCR-FORCE 12, which is a brand new product that they came out with. And I've been using their products for the last 4 or 5 years. Started with the 8100, then I used the 9100, and now we have the RCR-FORCE 12. This has everything you need to run a race car, a razor, a pre-runner, whatever you need. It all comes in this box. They're a really great company, husband and wife owned company. The kids work there. I really stand behind their products. I really like them, and most of all, made in America. And that's something you can definitely get behind. Let's open it up and check it out. I may have already opened the box because I was super excited, but this is a really cool kit that includes the wiring harness, everything you need. All you have to do is essentially make the connections. The brains behind the operation is the power module. This is slightly different than the 9100. It has an extra connector here, which is for the larger gauge wires, which is higher amperage, so you can run fans, larger capacity loads like air compressors, things like that. This is follow us on social media, Switch Pros Official. The next main piece of the puzzle is the switch panel itself. 12 switches. The new cool thing they did is the Racer Touch Bezel, which is this, appears to be a 3D printed piece. And it slips on. It's a pretty decent snug fit, so you don't have to worry about it falling off. And this allows you to find the buttons a little bit easier when you're bouncing around with gloves on at night, anything like that. You can also run it without, which it's a cleaner, simpler look, but I really like the new touch bezel. It definitely helps out. So the next thing is the wiring harness, or part of the wiring harness, because this one actually comes with 2 now. The trigger outputs, you have 3 triggers on these. You have 17 outputs, so you can actually have multiple switches control multiple outputs, which is really cool. Definitely a feature that the previous models didn't have. Everything is color coded. One of the cool things about the new RCR-FORCE 12 is before your wire location depended on which switch you wanted to go to. The cool thing about this new model is that it doesn't matter which wire you use, you can program within the unit to tell it to be whatever switch you want it to be. There's a lot of things that you can do within the system that really add a lot of value to the end customer. The next wiring harness is the big boy. So I believe this is 10 gauge. It might be bigger. These are for your higher amperage circuits, fans, air compressors, things like that. You have 4 35 amp outputs on this. And this is, if you have bigger light bars, things like that, this is a great wiring harness for that. This is something that is brand new to the RCR-FORCE 12 that was not previously done before. So this is a really cool feature. Mounting bracket, this is so you can make it easier to mount this. This goes on here, and then you can use these holes right here to locate and mount this to pretty much anywhere you need. Okay, so what we have next is the communication cable. This cable connects the switch panel to the power module and makes everything work. It's really nice. It's super long too, so you can pretty much go from anywhere. Something they did different on this one is this fairly large 4 gauge wire with a 150 amp fuse. And so that is one of the huge features. So it went from 100 amps. Oh, no, the previous model had 125 amps. The new RCR-FORCE 12 can hold and run 150 amps. Next would be the parts bag. So this comes with these little brackets. So these are the brackets that hold the switch panel down, so that you put these studs in the back of the switch panel. the mounting of the switch panel system, you can actually use it. The kit comes with these studs, and so you mount these studs in the back, and then you can do it. You can do it a couple ways. You can actually cut the perimeter of this out, and you can flush mount it in. A lot of times I'm seeing people just do the holes for these, and then you'll just have this thickness sticking out. And then it comes with these stainless brackets that come like that. It's almost as if you're mounting a gauge, like a odometer gauge, something like that. And so this will come from the backside and pull the switch panel tight to your dash or wherever you're mounting it. So hopefully that you can see that. Okay. The kit comes with a bunch of butt connectors, and so they're typically using butt connectors to connect these to your auxiliary lights, to your end goal. Some people are using that. I tend to use a connector. I use a lot of Deutsch connectors. Just kind of makes it nice, because if you need to do something later on, take something off, it makes it a little bit easier. But it comes with plenty of butt connectors. It comes with an add-a-fuse. So this is what you could use if you have a Jeep, a stock car, things like that. So you add this fuse to the ignition wire on your main harness, and this allows the whole thing to turn on. So the main power goes into the power module. This is what turns it on. So you can actually use some sort of any switched ignition source. This add-a-fuse will go right into your fuse box, and it'll allow you to just key on, and then the switch panel will turn on and allow you to use everything. There's a couple nuts and bolts hardware to mount the switch panel system to the bracket. And then last but not least is the legends. And so these are what you put on the switch panel depending on what you're running. You can put whatever you want. Nothing's permanent. You could peel them off if you change things up later. Nothing, you just peel these off, put a new one. The switch panel can actually be locked out. So for instance, like on a vehicle that doesn't have a key, you can actually type in a key code, like based on the switches. So you can go, switch 1, 3, 4, and 5. It will unlock the keypad. It'll actually turn the switch panel on. So this is a super cool feature, really cool for people that don't have keys, and you have your ignition and your startup on the vehicle on your switch panel. You can actually set switches to have a time delay off. So after the switch panel system is turned off, you can actually have items remain on for a length of time that you have set, which is pretty cool. So this would be really cool for fans, tranny coolers, anything that you would want maybe a little extra time on. Maybe scene lighting as you're getting out of a vehicle. Something along those lines it'd be a really cool feature to add. You can actually have circuits come on at startup. So when you go ignition on with the switch panel, it'll actually turn on lights, so i.e. like a dust light, rear facing tail light, anything that you'd want like ignition on is a feature that you can program in, and lights will automatically come on as soon as the switch panel is started up. One of the new capabilities of the new RCR-FORCE 12 is the capability of 4 circuits having on, off. And so if you have a light that has multiple functions, whether it's an amber backlight, high beam or low beam, it'll allow you to put power to one wire and then remove power from the next wire, which is a really cool feature, and I'm sure there's many other uses for that can be used later on. But this is a badass product. It simplifies a lot of your wiring, and it's badass. The goal here would to hopefully soon do an install on this. I previously installed one on a vehicle and I failed to film it, so we're gonna have to do another one. So I'm gonna rewire my truck. We got a lot of things going on. We're going to repost all of my unicorn pre-runner build videos. There was what was it, 7 videos? It was a lot of videos. So we documented the build process of my pre-runner that I currently have. We also have a 1450 trophy truck redo that we're doing, so I'll try to get some filming done on that. I'm going to try some things that I've never done before, hopefully do some aluminum paneling with some bead rolling. If there's anything you guys would want to see, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to try to do stuff around the shop, and things that I feel might have an interest for people, I'll try to do. I'm just a normal guy, and I've just learned by doing, and that's kind of, I feel like, the best way to learn how to do this stuff. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys have any questions about Switch Pros, like I can help. I'm really close with the owners. I can ask them. We can answer any questions you might have. And it's gonna be sick. Catchphrase. Put it right here. Hey, all you cats and kittens. Tiger King! Hey, all you cats and kittens. This is Brennan here with another product review.